Hey there, it's Lindsey Moss, back for another episode of 123 ART, hosted by the Art of Education University. I'm coming to you from Yorkville, Illinois, where I'm a K-6 art teacher, and all of these episodes have been focused on meeting the moment, getting our kids ready to make art after being absent from in-person learning for an extended period of time. They might be missing some fundamental skills, and the one that we're gonna focus on today is glue. We're gonna try to prevent a sticky situation in your classroom by talking about some tips and tricks that work for younger students when they're learning to use glue for the first time. So if you're thinking, oh yeah, we'll use that normal chant, dot, dot, not a lot, and we'll get there, I think it's gonna need a little more scaffolding than that this year. So my first piece of advice is not to just go into a project that uses glue. Much like scissors, I would teach it explicitly because you don't know what types of glue or adhesive experiences these kids have had. Many of them didn't have in-person preschool, and so some of this is gonna be new for them. So an explicit lesson about glue can even include a read aloud. My current favorite is Too Much Glue, which is a hilarious story about a kid who accidentally glues himself to the table in the art room. It's sure to create a lot of laughs with our young artists, and it's also a great springboard for glue discussions. I would, in my classroom, adapt the tools that they are using for glue before I turn them loose with an actual glue bottle. So what do some of these adapted tools look like? Well, my personal favorite, and this is an art teacher staple that I'm sure you've seen online. If you're not already doing this, you need to start right away. It's very simple. It's a dollar store sponge that is in a Rubbermaid container, and you just pour leftover glue on top. So you know when you have those glue bottles that are clogged beyond repair, I love to dump those on top of the sponge in here because I'm just gonna throw the cap away anyway, right? So what happens is students who are making collage or other small piece gluing assignments can just take that piece of paper and very gently press it into the top of the sponge, getting a uniform amount of glue on the back. It's perfect for very early glue projects early in the year for kindergarten. We're gonna do some gluing, and here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna take this piece and we're gonna push it down on your sponge, and then you can pick it up and then you can push it down onto your paper. But do you see how it has the just right amount of glue? So you try it. Yep, push it down, give it a little, yeah. Good, now lift it up. Good, and then you can stick it on here. Good, now push it down, good job. Another great tool, as they're getting a little bit more adept at glue, is to use something like this. This is a bottle that I got off of Amazon, and I can go ahead and pour my gallon of Elmer's glue into a bunch of these bottles. It comes with a little brush applicator, and this can kind of help kids understand that you need to kind of spread the glue out and put sort of a uniform amount over the surface of your art project. I also really like it because it's kind of a tiny, precious size. It feels really good in their hand, especially because of this sort of chunky lid. Okay, so this one, you're gonna unscrew it and see how there's a little bit of glue here. You go like this on the edge, and then you can paint some glue on.
Wait, I wanna do that.
And then stick it on. You wanna try it?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. So when you feel like they've kind of got it and they're ready to use an actual glue bottle, it's worth the time to have a whole lesson about how to open and close the glue bottle. And the way that I explain this to my littles is I start with a glue bottle that's closed, and I tell them that they only want to twist the orange part. And sometimes I'll model what happens if you twist the white and how it can really be way too open. But I'm only gonna twist the orange part. And then what I tell them to do is put it near their ear and very gently squeeze the bottle to listen for the glue bottle's snuffy nose. If you listen close, you'll hear, and that's how you know it's not clogged, and you can go ahead and use the glue. I tell them to flip it over and shake it down like ketchup and then squeeze. And from there, we usually get successful gluing. If that's not happening in your room, I would say you probably are having one of two problems: pressure or proximity. So if a kiddo is squeezing too hard, you end up with the lake. not squeezing enough, it doesn't really come out. So that's what I mean by pressure. We want a nice, even squeeze. And also proximity. You want the glue bottle to be almost level with the paper, not appear like raining down glue. So make sure that you cover pressure and proximity in your explanation. Another great tool that we will put down in the description is a glue spreader. These are really cheap and they're a cool tool for kids. If they accidentally get too much glue on the project, all is not lost. They can use the spreader to kind of move that glue over the larger paper and kind of spread it all out so it works a little better for them. So what's working for you in your classroom for glue? Leave a comment below if you have another tool or great way to explain it to kids besides ... not a lot. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss upcoming episodes of 123 ART or other great content coming from the Art of Education University.